Yes, guys, welcome. Welcome to my fourth episode of ThreeTings. Obviously, I've taken the show on the road today, just sort of speaking out in public. I normally like speaking from my home, just feel more relaxed. I'm sure you would understand. But I thought, let me give this a try just the once, and I'm here. And I'm speaking about something that is where I'm currently situated at the moment, which is the lofty, worldly area of SE8, Deptford, Lewisham, you could call it. And before I go on, I just wanted to say, in future you may hear me speaking on subjects such as immigration, so on and so forth. But, I'm also an immigrant at the moment, come from an immigrant family, but, I'm originally from the other side of the river, not too distant from here, East London, Mile End, and so I'm here. So technically, I'm a refugee as well. So I need a passport too. Will marry a 5'2" Vietnamese girl. I'm only joking. For a passport, please. Only joking. Right. I just really wanted to say. Just wanted to give my thoughts really on Deptford from the time that I've been here. Just as an observer, a silent observer, just looking at the going-ons, and I just really wanted to say that when I first got here, I was like, oh my God, where have they put me? Yeah, as you would do. But before I came here, I did do a whole module which covered the area going back a couple of 100 years or so before the war, told the story of Deptford up to today, and how it was slandered by the government and wasn't looked after, and people moved out, so on and so forth, and it's always been an area of like flux in terms of populations and poor people, immigrants coming in and setting up home, Now, that being said, man, I find it to be one of the, if not the most original high roads you can get. And what I mean by that is a lot of the businesses here they're original, like you won't get them anywhere else. They're not like, I call it Clone Town Britain, where you go to every town and, literally, like every shop is the same, or the name of the shop, it's a high street brand, right? When here it's a lot of independence, which is great to see in today's world. I was a tad bit disappointed, no disrespect, because you've got hundreds of shops, but there was a pound down there, and I thought, well, I'd like to see something independent come there, get in there, and obviously it ended up being a high street sort of conglomerate taking over. When I wanted to see an independent get in there, but they can buy anywhere they want, and they don't even need to make profit sometimes, But that being said, it's a very original high street, very original, and it's got its unique character to it, And I believe, undervalued areas are the one, and I believe, like, it's an area that in years to come you want to hold your position, because it's only going up as the population increases, as London sprawls. You've got urban sprawl, but then you've got the sprawl of the rich and whatever, and eventually this place will increase in value. You're right near the river. Human beings and being next to a river is part of our nature. So anything by the river, it'll always be valuable, So it's not worth giving up, just yet. That being said, I look at what's around in terms of amenities and or what can draw business, so to speak. I just think like that. I'm not really a business person, but I think what could draw the foot flow, what could draw people here, yeah? And I'm looking and I'm thinking, right, you are equidistant between two big universities, which is Goldsmiths and Greenwich, right? You have a massive, huge, humongous student population, right? Now I'm going to use a little bit of a, excuse the pun, a little bit of an Asian slant on this, right? And what I mean by this is like, this is quite like a dense area in terms of like, I would say people from Asian background, even South Asian, Southeast Asian, so on and so forth, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking into the mind of a student that's come from overseas. And there are thousands of overseas Asian students in central London at the bigger universities. And there's also like quite a big population in Goldsmiths and Greenwich, right? And these people, they're never ending, right? And I'm thinking to myself, first off, right, say if you've got a child, they've come, they're 19, 20, they're Chinese, whatever, they're circulating around central London. After a while, as big as central London is, you get bored. You get bored. You want to go somewhere different. You might hear stories of London being dangerous and whatever else, so on and so forth, yeah? That might scare you. However, you still want to get out of the city and you want to go places. So coming here now as an Asian person or a person, foreign person, but especially a Southeast Asian person, you've got everything here on the high street that you can get in Chinatown. Especially cuisine. Yeah, you've got it all here. Yeah. So why not, for a day trip, come down and do your shopping here and take in the scenes by the river. You've got a lot around, you know. But that being said, sometimes an area needs to sell itself rather than someone speak for it, you know. And to me, sometimes I look at some of the businesses set up and I think to myself, you're just stepping on each other's toes in a funny sort of way. Yeah, why not spread it? Now, to me, what I'd propose if I had the opportunity to, right, like, I would literally, like, if I had a magic wand, I would introduce, for one, I would make it more student friendly. I would introduce some type of museum, landmarked museum, on Google. There probably is here, because sometimes I miss out certain things in the area, but I should be able to see it if it is there. When a proper, real, landmarked museum that's up there with the best of them, that's linked to potential, maybe Asian, African cultural studies. Or whatever, yeah? But something that can draw students by literally, not even the hundreds, the thousands on a weekly basis in term time. That's what my goal would be. And then it would draw on the resource of Greenwich and draw on Goldsmiths as your regular foot flow. But then for a day trip, the Asian students can just come here and maybe study, take inspiration, do their shopping, and get some real life stories of real London, of how their people grow, have got on here, but also just Londoners like myself as well. I've got this mad picture in my eye of like them coming to a museum and a local from Deptford giving them their life story and them taking it back and then using it for their assignments in cultural studies. Yeah, because there's so much here. There's every person from around the world, and also been here about 30, 40, 50 years, so there's lots of stories, there's lots of richness in here, which you haven't got in other parts, you know? So yeah, for me, I would introduce some type of like, not a gallery, like a museum, and it would probably be focused on, I would say, just looking at the area, looking at the students that are in London, it would have to be Asian based, and it would probably be Orient based. Yeah, but basically it would be the kind of museum where, I don't know who organises these things, but a student would look at it as advantageous for them to come here. At some point they'll need to come here in their degree if they want inspiration and want to take their thing to the next level, you know. But at the same time they come here, you know, Literally, because literally all you got to do, you get like 1,000 extra students, 1,000 students come here a week. Your restaurants are full, which is a good look. You've got people queuing outside, like in the West End. You know, they come down because when they come down for a day. They come to have a walk around the museum, which I think is a big thing, an educational museum. They then obviously maybe go do some yoga or whatever, go do some shopping in the market, maybe even watch a film somewhere in the libraries, in a theatre or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You can really make it a real immersive experience of different things all together, you know? But yeah, I feel like, it needs something like that to draw, because I think students are a good draw, and they've got disposable income at certain points in the year to spend on education. And when they're coming, they're not all coming with their packed lunch. Do you know what I mean? They're coming to eat as well. So they'll like to come down here and taste the fusion. Do you know what I mean? Food is a big seller. So I feel like, if you guys, I was going to say but no, if you guys can somehow tap into the student market, especially the Orient businesses down here, your fortunes could literally like turn overnight. But I feel like, a museum, a real landmarked museum would do well down here, and the businesses would love it, and they won't step on anyone's toes, you know. That being said, next I've noticed like just in terms of security, maybe it's here, not here. I've seen a few street guys walking around, but I'll tell you what goes down a treat, because you come on man, I've been followed around sometimes, When I'm in a supermarket, or when I'm in a shopping centre, someone speaks over a tannoy, it conditions human beings to grab their handbag or look around, or anyone looking to do something suspicious. They always look around. It's a bit like when you see a police officer and you're driving, you press the brake sometimes, just naturally you cover the brake just to make sure you're not going over the speed limit, and it's something natural, just pre-programmed. I definitely feel that like you could do with a tannoy system where, like, if someone's acting a bit rowdy or whatever, you just speak on the mic and say, look, this is a CCTV area, all people can be seen, blah blah blah, watch your belongings. I believe that can make a difference in pacifying certain situations that I've not been privy to, but I know, because I can tell I've experimented it, and I've been out in certain places, and when people come close to me and a tannoy comes on, especially if it's directed at watching yourself, be careful, it makes a big difference. So I would definitely recommend the tannoy system. Also, this would be too much, but if there's a way of like sometimes negating the rain, sometimes getting some type of massive sheet or roof to put over the whole market, sounds crazy, that can make a difference as well in terms of consistency, because the weather can sometimes affect one's paycheck, So that being said, that's my sort of Deptford view, so you've got originality. You need to, I would say, tap into the student market. It's there, it's massive, it's huge. If you can get those students from central London coming here once a week, or at best every day, but if you can get them coming at certain times in the week, you'll be rammed to the rafters, you won't know where to look. And if it couples up with market day as well, it'll be too much for you guys to handle. And it can be done, man, it can be done. Because these students, they're going to get bored in central London. They're going to want to come here on rotation in a while. I can see it. Because there's only so much you can see around central London. I drive around there all the time, and sometimes Chinatown is not big enough. So why not make this East Chinatown or whatever? Like, you can do it. You can definitely do it. And the museum as well, like cultural studies or whatever it is, linking it into their studies, and then they can come here as well. They can chill in a place like this, the Badger, and study, talk, conversate. Yeah, brilliant. And it's a good crowd. It's a good crowd as well. They'll drink, they'll spend money, Anyway, so that's that. That's Deptford. Next, I wanted to speak on just switch subject, Kemi Badenoch. And I just wanted to say, man, I've been watching her on TV speak, and boy, I don't want her to get ganged up on, man. I feel like I'm watching my sister, like, you know, just spiritually. I feel like I'm watching someone like I look up to. I feel proud. I'd work for in the future. Who knows, right? But she's very, very tough talking. And going back to what I said in my last video, like, I hope she gets support, even if she's not Prime Minister, and she doesn't get left out there on her own, because she shoots from the hip, as they say, and she speaks with heart, and she speaks a lot of sense, man. But some of the things she's saying, I'm like, boy, because there's not many black people, like, I've realised, like, once you go up higher up in society a little bit, once you go to a slightly more affluent areas, I've realised black people just drop off like flies. They disappear. I've seen it, you know, and man, I just hope she gets the full support of you guys, especially, man, her First Nation, you know, give her the support, man. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't never seen, like, black people, like, or a black person become something, you know. And yeah, so, like, I'm not saying I'm affiliated to this party or whatever, but I would definitely say that, man, she's got my full support, man, with certain things. And I like some of her ideas, and I like what she says. I like people that are speaking their mind, man, instead of putting it under the carpet and sweeping things under the carpet, you know. So, like, yeah, support her, man, support her. she's taking the bull by the horns. She's not afraid to say what she needs to say, man. She's making sense with certain stuff, you know. Like, for one, I'll go on and say, like, you know, like, there's none for it. Like, there's a lot of people, like, they come here, and it's not their own fault, but they bring their own conflicts back home and they put it on the streets of Britain. And for example, like, you could be, say, from the Middle East, Asia, or whatever, and you've got a Brazilian person, a Colombian person, like someone from Latin America. They've got nothing to do with it. Vice versa, like, you might have some type of political turmoil in Brazil, Colombia. I've got nothing to do with that. Why are you bringing that to me? You know? So, some of the things she said make pure and utter sense, you know, to me. And she needs full support, full backing. Okay? Next. This might be another video. I don't want to make this too long. So, yeah, no, I think I'll leave it there. We've spoke about Deptford and what I think of it. We've also gone on to speak about just Kemi Badenoch towards the end and how I feel she should be supported. And yeah, no, definitely, I would say, yeah, man, hold on to your space. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, there's more people in London than ever, so like, it's going to increase. You're going to always get more and more, but rents increase at the same time. But I would definitely say, man, like, yeah, if I had a magic wand, or a magic wand, I call it a magic wand, right? If I had a magic wand, right, I would definitely like a proper landmarked museum that has a cultural effect to it, like literally as well, like, you know, can you imagine like a museum, you walk in and there's a section sort of dedicated to, I don't know, the Chinese Revolution, or dedicated to dedicated to the Vietnamese War. That's a subject, that's a live subject that students will come and want to know more about. And you've got people here that can give some of the richest stories regarding that. Because to me, like, that was the last sort of real, since the Second World War, you know what I mean, where it's properly detailed and documented from both sides. Do you know what I mean? In colour as well. Do you know what I mean? When everything else is a bit more proxy, and since then, or a bit more, even though that was still a proxy war, do you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It was more, America was there They got stories to tell, and you got stories to tell that aren't being told because you beat the West, which was America, but you can tell them here. Man, you can't let those stories go. I would love to hear them myself firsthand, you know. But yeah, no, definitely. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I could see it. Like it would do very, very well. And like the student population you can draw. Oh my God, you can win. You can win the match. You can win gold, man. You could be full every day of the week. You can literally have them coming down there. And there's transport links. You know what I mean? Transport links are very easy to get here. You know. And sometimes people might get bored from the closer universities, come here instead of going to Peckham or staying in Greenwich. Because Greenwich, you can get bored. So yeah, man, give them the option, man. Make the place a little bit safer, or no, feel safer. And then also just market towards those universities and have something to pull students here, and it'll be great. It'll be grand. Do you know what I mean? And people that want to live here, landlords will be happy, you know. But anyway. That's me done. Episode 4 of ThreeTings. Yep, I hope this message reaches you well. This is from my observation, just what I've seen so far. I won't go on about my individual, what I see. And no, actually, I will say, man, yeah, man, I see a lot of faces that look like people that I know. On a positive spin, thank you very much. You do guide me, you do anchor me. But I can't always say who or what or where you are because sometimes things get shut down and I have to go on like I don't see sometimes, just play along sometimes, you know. But no, I'm very thankful, you know, to be alive, to be here, and yeah, no, all good, man, all good. So yeah, I feel nice, man, I feel good. But yes, hope this message reaches you well and it's taken in the right way, you know. But it's not really my place at this juncture to speak on these matters. But you've got to speak about what you would do sometimes. Everyone has to sort of give their opinions on what they would do if they had the power to, you know. Oh, actually, no. The subject I wanted to speak on next was it's like, you know, sometimes, man, someone said to me one time, my old workplace, "Oh, Mark, you've missed your vocation." Meaning that I've missed my opportunity or the job that I was meant to do or whatever, or I never got the chance and so on and so forth. And I just want to say, man, every time like I've been like in a court or World Courts of Justice or the Old Bailey, whatever, I look around and I feel like, "Wow, Mark, man, you missed a vocation." I have other places too, but when I go in there, because I feel like I know, like, my God, once I've got the bit between my teeth, once I've got like reasons, and once I've got the full story, I'm able to argue points like, with absolutely anyone to your advantage. But then I thought about it just briefly today, and I thought a solicitor, a barrister, whatever, probably wouldn't suit me, man, because you know what, in my heart, I would, man, doesn't matter where you come from, man, I wouldn't be comfortable with supporting guilty people when sometimes you have to defend a guilty person, you know, and I'm not sure how I would handle that. Someone's not guilty, no, I'll fight their corner, yeah, but, you know, you'll have to be fighting. And also as well, you get people lying in your face, you know, and I don't think I could do that, or like dealing with some like sort of career criminal and they're like flouting the law, but I'm getting them off of it. I don't think I could do anything like that. But I'm always using the word summary, summing up, whatever, so on and so forth, thinking I'm some godfather or whatever. So yeah, no, the only place for me would be a judge. Definitely a judge. See what I mean? Top man, definitely a judge. Because, yeah, I feel like I'm an impartial person. And I'll take everything on. And, you know, I'll be fair as I can. So I feel like, yeah, judge would be the best position for me. Right? Rather than being on one side against another, you know? which is just a criminal referee, really, isn't it? A judge, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to say as well, man, because I have to some help out my youngers, you know. And I just wanted to say, man, if you get yourself in those situations, man, when I've been in there, I realised there's some people, there's competitive spirit everywhere. There are some people out there, they want to get you. I'm telling you, right? You need to make sure, doesn't matter how much you pay your legal team, doesn't matter how much you pay them, you need to make sure they're on your team, they're on your side. Very, very important, they are on your side. Very important, it's imperative. Spiritually, story-wise, physically, everything, they're on your side. Yeah, you need them rowing in your direction. And also, as well as that, I realise once you know the way round, and it's quite a small community, I would think, not that they give each other signals, but they're able to sort of maybe let the judge and the judge, whatever, or not so much the juries, but they probably are able to communicate non-verbally information that they can't say, and it can be done right before your eyes. Yeah, or just act in certain ways to maybe let the world know they presume you're guilty, but they're defending you. And these are things you shouldn't need to even know. You should already know, you know. So that's why it's important that you have, especially if you're innocent, someone that is with you versus somebody that's really good at their job. You know, because they can send you the other way and walk you into something and they're defending you, you know. But that's being said, that's me done now. Hope this message reaches you well. Take care. Bless.